Most leaders don't lead, they react. They chase quarterly results, scramble after trends, and end up one step behind. That's why they're stressed, distracted, and vulnerable to disruption. The great leaders, they don't wait for change. They shape it. Be honest, how often do you say, "We'll deal with that later," or "Let's wait for more data"? Does that sound familiar? I'm Jan, founder of the Futures Coach. I've taught futures thinking and strategy at graduate level in universities, and I've spent years helping organizations anticipate change instead of just reacting to it. In this video, I'll share the same tools I teach executives and teams, a step-by-step way to turn uncertainty into a competitive edge and start thinking ahead like the best leaders do. And here's the good news. These aren't abstract theories. They're practical, simple steps you can apply right away, even if you felt stuck reacting instead of leading. The truth is, leaders who wait think they're in control. But really, they're letting the future decide for them. And that's a strategy for failure, unless waiting is a deliberate choice. Today, I'll show you the shift that separates those who react from those who own the future. Now, before you think, "That's easy for you to say, Jan," let me ask you something. How many times this week have you said, "We'll cross that bridge when we get to it"? Be honest with yourself. The brutal truth is this. When you wait, you think you're being careful and strategic, but really, you're letting the future decide for you. And that's not leadership. That's surrendering your power. In this video, you'll learn quick steps on how to develop a proactive mindset, scan for emerging opportunities and threats using horizon scanning, and define a clear vision for the future. You'll also learn how to turn that vision into actionable steps, make daily decisions that align with your long-term goals, and surround yourself with forward-thinking people. Finally, you'll see how to stay agile and adaptable so you can navigate change while keeping your vision on track. In short, you'll gain a step-by-step framework to anticipate change, act strategically, and create the future you want. Let me take you inside Steve Jobs' mind in 2007. While everyone else was perfecting their flip phones, Jobs was holding something that didn't exist yet. Not just the iPhone, but a vision of how humans would interact with technology. He wasn't responding to customer surveys asking for touchscreen phones. There were no focus groups demanding app stores. Jobs didn't wait for the market to tell him what they wanted. Why? Because as Henry Ford brilliantly put it, if I'd asked customers what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. Jobs saw a world where people would interact with technology in ways they hadn't imagined yet. And instead of waiting for the market to demand it, he demanded that the market evolve with him. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, well, that's Steve Jobs, of course. But here's what's fascinating. And this is where most people get it wrong. Jobs wasn't just some mystical visionary who got lucky. He had a system. A repeatable process for making the future happen on his terms. Let me show you two more leaders who mastered this. Jeff Bezos saw the internet when it was just 1% of what it is today. While everyone else was focused on traditional retail, Bezos had a radical vision. The future of commerce was online. When the internet was still in its infancy, he could have focused on books and nothing else. But instead, he built a platform that could scale and host any product. Bezos anticipated that the internet would radically change how people shop, and he put Amazon on a path to dominate e-commerce before anyone else had thought about it. Bezos set the stage for what people would need. He invested heavily in cloud computing, AWS, and Prime membership long before they became massive hits. As industries transformed around him, Bezos' ability to anticipate new market shifts, like cloud services or AI, was key to Amazon's continued success. Brian Chesky, co-founder and CEO of Airbnb, disrupted the travel and hospitality industries by creating a peer-to-peer platform that allowed individuals to rent out their homes. In the early days, the concept seemed unlikely to succeed. Why would people invite strangers into their homes? But Chesky's vision was clear. The future of travel was about authentic experiences and local connections. Rather than waiting for market trends to show up, he proactively built the platform and focused on empowering travelers and hosts alike. Airbnb didn't just react to the growing demand for shared economy platforms, it created an entirely new category of travel accommodation. Chesky foresaw that people wouldn't just want cheap lodging, they wanted to experience life like a local, self-determined, with the freedom to cook and to explore neighborhoods. and live like a temporary resident rather than a tourist. This vision drove Airbnb's rapid growth, even when skeptics doubted that travelers would embrace such a model. By anticipating how people wanted to experience travel, Airbnb turned foresight into a massive competitive advantage. Now that we've seen how some of the most successful leaders create their future, let's talk about how you can do the same. You don't need to be Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, or Brian Chesky to take control of your future. The question is, how do you, as a leader, start taking control of the future instead of letting it control you? Here's how you can start today. Right now, I want you to do something. Take out your phone or a piece of paper. Write down the top 3 problems you've been putting out fires for in the last month. Go ahead, I'll wait. Got them? Good. Now here's the million-dollar question. What would it look like if you had anticipated these problems 6 months ago? This is how proactive leaders think. They don't ask, how do I solve this problem? They ask, how do I prevent this problem from existing in the first place? Your first homework. For each fire you wrote down, spend 10 minutes this week brainstorming how you could have seen it coming. This one exercise will start rewiring your brain from reactive to proactive. The next step is foresight. You need to start scanning for future opportunities and threats right now. It's not enough to just react when the future hits you in the face. You need to be looking for it in advance. Here's a simple tool you can use today: horizon scanning. Dedicate 15 minutes every week to scan the horizon. Read industry reports, follow emerging trends on social media, and talk to peers about what's happening in your sector. Look for patterns. What are the early signals of change in your industry? Are there any disruptions on the horizon? Even small changes can be the start of big shifts. If you want a simple way to put this into practice, I've created a free 5-day horizon scanning email course. Each day, you'll get one short exercise to help you spot weak signals, filter the noise, and turn insights into action. It's practical, takes just a few minutes a day, and by the end, you'll already feel more confident scanning the future. The link is in the description below and in the pinned comments as well. Most leaders have vague dreams, not visions. They say things like, we want to be industry leaders, or we want to grow significantly. That's not a vision. That's wishful thinking. Here's how you build a vision architecture. Think about your North Star for the next 15 years. Write one sentence describing your ultimate impact. Now break it down to the 5-year milestone. What measurable achievement proves you're on track? And finally, your daily actions. What can you do today that moves you toward that 15-year vision? Let's say your 15-year vision is, we revolutionize healthcare through AI, saving 100,000 lives annually. For your 5-year milestone might be, we have partnerships with 50 hospitals and FDA approval for a flagship diagnostic tool. Your daily action could be, today, I research one potential hospital partner and reach out to one AI researcher. See how that works? Every daily decision now has a clear connection to your ultimate destination. Here's the one question that will transform your leadership. Does this decision move me closer to my 15-year vision or further away? Prioritize tasks that have a long-term impact. Stop getting distracted by day-to-day problems that don't align with your future goals. Commit to making small, smart decisions each day. Over time, these decisions add up and move you toward your bigger vision. Paul Pullman, former CEO of Unilever, used this exact principle. Every decision, from sourcing materials to hiring executives to marketing campaigns, was filtered through Unilever's long-term vision of sustainable growth. Result, while other companies focused on quarterly profits, Unilever became the global leader in sustainable business. I challenge you, for the next 7 days, ask this question before every significant decision. Write the question on a sticky note, put it on your computer screen, make it impossible to ignore. Here's something most leaders get wrong. They try to create the future alone. You can't. You need a future-thinking network, people who see around corners, who challenge your assumptions, who push your thinking beyond the obvious. Your network needs 3 types of people: mentors who've successfully navigated massive changes, peers who are building the future in adjacent industries, and contrarians who disagree with conventional wisdom. Howard Schultz didn't build Starbucks alone. He surrounded himself with people who believed in his vision of creating a third place between home and work. These weren't just employees, they were co-conspirators in creating a cafe culture that didn't exist in America. This month, identify one person in each category and schedule a conversation with them. Now here's the truth nobody talks about. Even with perfect vision and planning, the future rarely unfolds exactly as you expect. Markets shift, technologies evolve, crises happen. The key is strategic agility, the ability to adapt your methods while never compromising your mission. Look at Satya Nadella at Microsoft. When he became CEO, he didn't abandon Microsoft's mission, but he completely transformed their strategy, pivoting from software licensing to cloud services, from competition to collaboration, from know-it-all to learn-it-all, staying agile while keeping the company aligned with its vision. His vision stayed constant, empowering every person and organization to achieve more. His methods, completely flexible. Here are 5 things you can do. Monitor and adjust regularly. Track trends, review progress, and pivot when needed. Embrace experimentation. Test ideas, learn and adapt quickly. Prioritize flexibility and planning. Create goals and roadmaps that are structured yet adaptable. Encourage adaptive teams. Foster a culture where feedback and innovation are celebrated. And align pivots with your vision. Flexibility doesn't mean losing focus. Every adjustment should serve your long-term goal. So here we are. You now have the exact system used by the most successful leaders in the world. But here's what separates the leaders who transform their organizations from those who just attend workshops and watch videos. Action. I'm challenging you right now. Choose one step from today's framework. Commit to it and do it. Not next month, not when things slow down, this week. And if you're unsure how to get started, watch this next video. Once you see how simple it can be to start scanning the horizon the right way, you'll never look at change the same way again.